Yep.
All right. Thank you all for being here this afternoon. Today we're talking about taxes and politicians in Washington who think they could live by a different set of rules than us. In 2006, Sherrod Brown was caught not paying his taxes. In 2007, Sherrod Brown was caught not paying his taxes. And then again this year, Sherrod Brown was caught by the media, once again, not paying his taxes. And Sherrod Brown is a politician who thinks he can live by one set of rules, while all of us live by a different set of rules. It's wrong for him not to be paying his taxes. It's even more wrong for him not to be paying his taxes while he raises our taxes over 30 times. We believe this issue is about politicians in Washington like Sherrod Brown living by one set of rules while we live by a different set of rules, but it's also about tax policy. Sherrod Brown has raised taxes over 30 times in Washington, voted for one of the largest increases to the death tax in American history. Contrast that with me. I've advocated for elimination of the death tax in the state of Ohio, and we were proud that came to fruition this past year. I penned an op-ed in the Columbus Dispatch to eliminate the estate tax, and I'm also a strong advocate for eliminating the death tax at the federal level as well. Specifically in respect to property taxes, the reason that we are at a home right now is because these folks behind me pay their property taxes, whereas Sherrod Brown does not pay his property taxes. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. I, as a city councilman, advocated for a property tax rollback to actually lower property taxes for citizens throughout my city, the city of Lyndhurst. And while it was a struggle to get it done, we ended up passing the first property tax rollback for any municipality in the history of Cuyahoga County, and one of the only municipal property tax rollbacks that we know of in the history of the state of Ohio. And we believe this issue of taxation is one that paints a strong contrast between Sherrod Brown, who's been in Washington for 20 years, hasn't paid his taxes on 3 different occasions, and on top of that has raised our taxes over 30 times. Compare that to me, who's advocated for lower property taxes on multiple occasions, and in addition to that was part of the fight to eliminate the death tax recently here in the state of Ohio. While families are struggling, middle-class families and others, I believe now is about the worst time to even for politicians in Washington to be talking about raising taxes. And frankly, I don't think there is a good time to talk about tax increases. In my mind, we need to completely dismantle the tax code and build it back up with a broader tax base, lower tax rates, especially for the middle class, and a tax code where families and businesses can keep more of their hard-earned dollars. So this is about contrasting Sherrod Brown and Josh Mandel on tax policy, but it's also about politicians in Washington who think they can live by one set of rules, while all of us live by a different set of rules. Last week we talked about politicians in Washington not passing a budget for over 3 years, and my strong belief that if they're not going to pass a budget, they shouldn't get paid. Sherrod Brown's gone over 3 years without passing a budget in Washington, whereas families like these and small businesses have to manage their family finances on a regular basis. That's one example. Another one is him not paying his taxes 3 different times while all of us have to pay our taxes. So I'd be glad to open it up to any questions.